Okay, now we're live.
Hello.
I think. Yay! I always like. Let me double check because for some reason I'm nervous that I won't be. Okay, we're good. Cool.
Ooh, you did it.
Hello. How's everybody doing?
Hanging in there.
Yeah, it feels like a Monday kind of, even though it's already Wednesday. It's like, oh gosh, just saying hanging in there.
What a mood.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was telling Paige I actually got diagnosed with COVID earlier today.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so that's fun. I don't feel that bad, but like I told her I went to bed at like 8:30 yesterday. So yeah, but I need to get some reading done because I read nothing yesterday. I literally just laid on the couch watching The Nanny. So I'm like, bitch, you don't have time for this. Let's go. You have too many video plans.
Yeah, I need the motivation to read. Like the only thing I've really been reading so far this month is like nonfiction books, but like kind of cozy nonfiction books, like books about organizing and I don't know. It's like that's all I have the mental capacity for right now. It's just very like easy reads. So
that's nice. That's fun though.
Yeah.
So what are you reading tonight then?
So for me, I am going to be reading, let's see, the title's kind of long. It's a nonfiction book and it's a memoir. It's called Unraveling What I Learned About Life While Shearing Sheep, Dyeing Wool, and Making the World's Ugliest Sweater. So this is the cover, if you guys can.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, little sheep.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. That's funky. Paige, what are you reading?
I am finishing up 𝗖cie, so I have like a chapter left. I just couldn't keep reading last night. And then I'm going to switch over to Iron Flame.
Oh, how are you liking it? I don't know if I've seen your review on Fourth Wing, so.
Yeah, I gave it 5 stars because it was just so easy, so just like, you didn't have to really focus too hard on it. It kind of felt like 𝗖cie, just that like pacing and character dynamics and stuff in some regard. But I liked it. I thought it was fun.
That's fair. Are you liking Iron Flame, or have you started it?
I've only gotten like 10% in, so nothing's really happening, but it's still fun.
Gotcha. That's fair. Like, I feel like for the people who loved it, I keep hearing the description that it's like there's crack in the book, where it's like you just can't put it down.
Yeah, it just like hits all the good points that you're like, okay. It does what a book should do.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah.
I am going to be reading Unlikable Female Characters because the original nonfiction book I was reading, I got 50 pages in and there were like 2 really outrageous claims and no source for them. And like, it made me so angry. It's like, it was one of those like really stupid things, but I was like, this makes me irrationally angry. I cannot keep reading you.
Yeah.
So
it's so funny because both the books you guys are reading are both books I really want to read, like top of my TBR. So I'm really excited to hear what you guys think about them because it'll motivate me to pick them up sooner.
I'm liking this one so far. It's been good.
Yeah.
That one was a really interesting read. So actually, this right here is my friend Kat. I was the one who told her to read it. So I was like, yeah, it's a great read. Also, hi, Brooklyn. Oh, God. Okay, yeah. It's like COVID's making a comeback lately. I guess it's like with the flu season, unfortunately. But I'm honestly feeling pretty okay. I just have a crabby throat, and then I'll probably get tired in like an hour. Also, hi, Kat. Hi, Marley. Hi, Maddie. I'm in my nonfiction era. Ooh, what's celebrity memoir? There's some good ones. Also, are you listening to the audiobook? And if so, did they narrate it? Like, that's what I say.
Yeah.
Celebrity memoir. My go-to one is always Seth Rogen's because first off, I mean, I just love his voice. He's super funny, but like he has all these really shocking big names just do onesie-twosie parts throughout the audiobook. And I remember listening to it and I can't find a confirmation anywhere, but there was one voice that I was like, is this George Clooney? I have no idea who it was. It sounded like him. And that one, and then the other one that I like immediately knew was it was Tommy Chong. And he was voicing this stoner that Seth Rogen like was talking to in a story in Germany, and I was like, Tommy Chong being the voice for the stoner makes perfect sense.
Nice.
I just read a memoir, and I'm not like a memoir reader at all, but this month I'm just like that person said, I am in my nonfiction era right now. And I just read a memoir by Maria Bamford. It's this book called Sure, I'll Join Your Cult. I hadn't heard of her before. I guess she's a comedian, and I don't know if she's like on Comedy Central or something, but she narrated it and it was really funny. If you guys are looking for a good memoir, and she talks a lot about mental health in it. So I thought it was really relatable, and I really enjoyed that one.
Okay. That's good to know. Yeah, because I saw the title of that one and I was like, immediately I want to read this.
Right. Well, and that's the one thing I will say is like, it's called Sure, I'll Join Your Cult, but she doesn't talk so much about like cults. Like some things are kind of like, she was in like Weight Watchers, so certain things that are kind of like maybe
cult adjacent.
Yeah, but nothing really like, I thought she was going to have some real drama to share, but it was mostly her own journey and like her mental health and stuff. But that was interesting too.
Yeah, that's cool. Have you read any of Jenny Lawson's stuff?
I want to. Is that the one of them has like a possum or a raccoon?
Yeah, raccoon on the cover.
I need to.
Okay, I'm so like ever since I read 2 of her books now, they're so you either like her humor or you don't. So I'm very intrigued anytime like I bring them up to people. I'm like, are you gonna like this or are you gonna hate this? That's one that my friend Kat, I was like, you might like this, but you also might hate listening to her talk.
Yes. Okay, so this is kind of weird about me. I am not a person with like a huge sense of humor. Like, I mean, I like jokes, right? But I'm not like super jokey at the same time. Like I feel like I'm pretty serious. And that was another thing with that audiobook was because she's a comedian. It was very like joke heavy. And I was almost like, okay, we've already gotten the jokes, like, let's get to the point. So I don't know. I'd be interested to check out Jenny Lawson's books and see if I like the vibe or not. But
yeah, because it's like super stream of consciousness to like the nth degree and you can tell she definitely has ADHD in some capacity because she's like ding 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 ding. Oh, back to the point.
Yeah, I'm pretty serious too, and I couldn't finish it. But the serious parts were good. It's just the stream of consciousness was hard to follow and wasn't for me.
Yeah.
See, yeah, that title is just like so interesting. Like, sure, I'll join your cults.
Yeah.
Okay, what's going on here? Oh, Henry Winkler. Nice. I'm glad he actually narrates that. I'm intrigued by that one. I think he's lived an interesting life, so I'd like to read his too. Hi, Daphne.
Oh no, you sound so sad.
I promise I really don't feel that bad. I just sound terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I realized earlier.
Like tip over to kind of bad. Let us know though.
Oh no, I'm good. I'm good for now at least. Okay. But yeah, I was thinking earlier, like, oh, I need to film an update for my Star Wars vlog, but I don't know if I want to do that right now when I saw it. We'll see.
Right.
And then it's even worse because I was gonna do like a 48-hour readathon this weekend, and so now I'm like, well, that probably won't be happening. Like either I'll like get a ton read and no filming, or I'll end up like sleeping the whole time.
Yeah. Have you had COVID before, or is this your first time?
It's my first time.
Oh, I see. I feel like it's worse. Well, I've only had it one time too, but I feel like what I've heard other people say is the second time isn't so bad, maybe. Like, but when I got it, it was like the worst I've ever felt sick. So I know you're probably going through it, even though you said you don't feel terrible. But
yeah, like thankfully the doctor, I just went to like the nurse practitioner. She was like, well, your symptoms really aren't that bad and you don't seem like you feel that terrible. So like, I can't really prescribe you anything since you're not immunocompromised, but like here's some coffee. Yeah. I was just like, okay, cool. And then I told my brother's kids have been like on and off dealing with some bug for the last week. And I told him that even though I haven't seen him in like 2-3 weeks now. And he was like, now you have me paranoid that we have COVID. And I was like, Pop, I haven't seen you. When would I have given you COVID? When would we have shared it?
Over the phone.
Yeah, somehow, apparently.
That's the good part about work from home. I don't know if you guys are work from home or if you guys are like out of the house, but for me, I am remote. So that's the one good thing is like, I don't really catch, like the only time I leave the house is to go grocery shopping once a week. So I don't really catch the bugs going around too much.
Yeah, that's lucky. Like I'm not work from home, but like currently I can work from home with this situation, which is on one hand it's like, oh, that's cool, like I don't have to worry about my stuff falling behind. On the other hand, I'm like, damn it, I just want to lay on the couch. Yeah, honestly, in that regard, 2020 really spoiled everybody.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, do you guys prefer long sprints or short sprints?
Either.
Same, either.
Fair enough. I guess we could start out with like an easy 30-minute and just like dip our toe in, see how we're going.
Yeah.
So okay, it's like right at the 10-minute mark. So bam, that worked out perfectly.
Yeah.
I didn't plan that, but we're just gonna read till 41. I talked too long. Boom. Sam just made a bunch of noise.
Oh, no.
Hi. Sorry. Hopefully I didn't just scare everybody. Oh. How do we do? How was everybody's reading?
Mine was good, but I did not get very far. Like normally I listen to my audiobooks on a pretty fast speed, but this one I'm just taking it easy. I'm listening like 1.5, and so I'm reading it very slowly. So I really didn't get very far, but before I came into sprints, I was already about 70% into this book. So I'm at like 78% right now. And it's a pretty short one, so I only have like an hour and 20 minutes left. So I might finish it tonight.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
So, like, what's she talking about? I'm so intrigued.
Yes. Okay. So it's really hard to describe, I guess. Like, so she always loved knitting. Like her mom taught her how to knit, and I feel like this book is making a lot of connections to like climate change and sustainable fashion. Like there was a whole chapter where she talked about sustainable fashion, and so she wants to go and shear a sheep and collect the wool, dye the wool, and weave it or spin it. I think she said it was called, and then like knit with that. So she wants to like do the whole process start to finish of like knitting with this wool that she actually sheared from a sheep. So it's kind of like going back to the basics almost, like having appreciation for where your clothes come from. And there was something really interesting I learned in this book about like those fleece coats that were so trendy that were made from like recycled water bottles, like those fleece microfiber. I feel like those were very popular. And she was kind of talking about that and how we don't even really use wool anymore. It's all made from plastics. And she said every time you wash one of those in the washing machine, like one of those fleeces, it releases so many like microplastics into the environment and the oceans. And I cannot remember what the number she said was. I'll try to go back and find it, but she said like the equivalent of how many water bottles that is, like releasing into the oceans. I was shocked.
Wow.
So I'm learning a lot about shearing sheep, and nothing that I'm ever going to find useful in my own life, but it's really quiet and interesting. Like I've been reading so many like heavier things. I'm like this, and I'm kind of going through burnout right now. So this month I'm just like reading the most cozy, lighthearted, like drama-free books, pretty much.
Love that.
Yeah, that sounds super interesting though. Like I was a really big sustainability kick in college, and I still try and be like more aware and stuff. But I mean, that's really impressive that she's like literally going through that entire process in order to like create a sweater out of it. It's crazy.
Yeah, I kind of wish I had like the physical copy because I wonder if there was pictures in it, and I would like to see like what is, because part of the title, the last thing in the title is in making the world's ugliest sweater. So I'm gonna have to look up pictures after this and see, well, what does her sweater look like?
Yeah. Like, what is the ending product?
What did you say?
I said, like, what is the ending product? You gotta
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
How about you, Paige?
I finished Ace. I liked it.
It's good.
I think it was just a really easy read, and I just like that it showed you all the different possibilities of what it means to be Ace or could be Ace. So I like that. But I jumped right into Iron Flame, and I'm just so obsessed with it. It's so much fun. It's just one of those books that like you just want to read it all night long. Like if I didn't have responsibilities, I would be up until 3 a.m. reading this. It's just fun. It's readable.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, hey, that means you'll probably read it really fast and like just binge through it.
Yeah. Too bad there's not the third book out to know what happens after.
Yeah, have they announced how many books are going to be in that series?
I think 3.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know if I just guessed that or if I read that somewhere.
Yeah, my so one of my friends was a librarian, and she was like, "Hey, you're like on BookTube, so you're plugged into this stuff. Do you think I should read this?" And I was like, well, before I could answer, our other friend Kate slid in, and she was like, I read the audiobook for the second one in like 2 days. And I was just like, take her answer before you take my answer, because I have no interest in it, but that's just like me. I think you'll actually like it. But yeah, like I said, everybody talking about it who loves it. It's like the book is crack. It's just like something in it just keeps you going back for more.
Yeah, it's just fun.
Do you guys feel like, I don't know if you guys feel like this, but I feel like when I was a teenager and I was like YA, like reading all the YA trilogies, everything that was coming out, I feel like it was more like at that time in my life, I found books all the time that gave you that feeling. Like you would want to stay up all night and read it, like read the whole trilogy in like a weekend. And I feel like a lot of books then I got that from. But nowadays, I don't know about you guys, but I don't get that feeling as much anymore. So I do think that's really special that like Fourth Wing is doing that for people, like making reading fun again, pretty much.
Yeah, I definitely agree, because like there's some series that like I'll look back on and I'll be like, I binged that so fast, like the Truly Devious trilogy. I mean, like looking back on it now, like I can admit to like issues with it that I like didn't pick up on, but I loved those first 3 books and read them so fast. Yeah. And I mean, I don't even know what's like the last series, like probably Divine Rivals I did that with, but like that even was kind of an unusual one. Like it's really hard to find books like that now as an adult. Now that you point that out, I've never thought about it, but that's so true.
It's kind of harder to binge them too, because we hear about them immediately now. Like when I was in high school, like I had to hear about Hunger Games from my English teacher. Like that's how I found out about stuff like that, or like going to the library and finding out a book that way. Like we hear about first books immediately, so then we read the first book, wait for the next one, read that immediately. We don't hear about it like once they've already gotten to book 3.
Yeah, that's true. Yes. And it's, I mean, I feel like I hear a lot of people talk about, you know, you don't just go to the bookstore and pick up a random book you've never heard of before. Like especially if you're in like the booktube sphere, like it's so hard.
Everything here or on BookTok.
Yeah, like even if you haven't heard of it, like chances are like it's somewhere in your radar. Somebody has talked about it in some capacity to influence you like a little bit, even if you like don't really actively think about it that way. I mean, because it's just hard not to when you're plugged into all of it.
Yeah, it's just interesting thinking about like I can't honestly think about the last book that like made me want to stay up all night, like could not put down, had to read all night. Like I can't think of the last book for me that did that.
Yeah.
No.
I think it was Wolf Song when I read that.
Actually, that's a good, okay, to be fair, yeah, the first time I read that, I did do that too. I started that, I remember, because I got in bed and started reading that book, and I did not stop reading until 2 a.m. when Joe finally came back, and I was like, okay, I have to go to bed. I have to go to work tomorrow morning. And like, that was at least like 300 pages.
I think I started it around noon, and then I didn't stop until about 3-4 in the morning.
Is that T.J. Klune, Wolf Song? I have not read a T.J. Klune yet, although I've heard like only good things. I know all his books, like everybody loves them. So I am going to go to Goodreads right now and add Wolf Song to my TBR. I will start with that one because I need that book again. That's going to make me like be excited.
If you are wanting more cozy though, and you want to stick with cozy, I'd go House in the Cerulean Sea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wolf Song's more if you just want to like rip your heart out a little bit.
Yeah, it's super character focused. So like he really makes you fall in love with the characters and the family, and that's what keeps you coming back. Like at least for me, that's 100% what it is. Like I just couldn't get enough of them. I just wanted more of like every little interaction between them, and that's why I ended up like I didn't binge the series, but I definitely worked through it really fast.
Yeah. Oh, so good.
Yeah, actually. Is it in here? I don't remember where I put it. 1 sec page, because I meant to show you this because I annotated it when I reread it in December, and I feel like you'll appreciate how filled it is.
Okay. I reread it last year, Wolf Song and Raven Song, the second book, and that was the first book I've annotated in the longest time. I don't put tabs on it, but I was having so much fun going through.
Like it is so filled.
So pretty.
It is so filled. I literally because I have my key in here. So I was gonna say on like 4 of these colors, I literally ran out at one point and had to like go find more. And I was like, wow, this is pretty bad. I actually have a cry counter one too. I know I'm like, it's gonna get used a lot. It did get used as much as I thought, but it did get used a lot.
I can't wait to see you do that with Raven Song, because I know you love that one.
No, I literally have a tab in there that's like Mark and Gordo moments, because I started picking up on little ones and I was like, I'm squealing, kicking my feet over these two.
I know.
Go ahead and start tabbing for them. Yeah.
It's funny. I love seeing books that people have annotated. Like, it's so satisfying seeing all the little tabs, and I love it.
Yeah, I like used to think it was so over the top and like didn't care about my system, and now I'm like, no, actually it's very useful when you like want to find something specific in it.
Have you made
tabs or write in it too?
I do both. So like some books I write more in, like nonfiction ones lately, I tend to write more and tab less. But like most of the time I do both. However, there's like my romance books, I tend to just tab more because those are like specific scenes where it's like this scene was super funny. I cracked up, laughed out loud. So like I want to easily be able to turn back to this, or like spicy scenes. I'll mark those. But yeah, like those I don't really write in a lot unless I'm like purposefully annotating it for a friend or something. And then I'll like, it's just more like comments and stuff to laugh at it together.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting too, seeing everybody's different systems for annotating. Like, I love that, like how you have the different themes you do. Like for me, mine is kind of more general. Like I kind of just tab things that's like parts I really liked and something I might want to like flip back to and reread, but I don't have like a specific like, or maybe every book for you is different. Do you do like the same system every time?
So like romance books, I tend to have a very set one because I always will just use like the same colors, and it's like red is red flags, pink is like a really cute moment, blue is romantic, purple spice, like green is a really good like quote or line or something like that. Versus like fantasy books, or I'm trying to think what else I've tabbed, like Mayfly. Like a Mayfly, I really only tabbed like lines I really enjoyed. Versus like, I mean, with Wolf Song, I had, like I said, I had a cry counter. I had the 2 main ships I really cared about the most. I had quotes. I had like, there's these 3 guys who are always just making like really funny comments. So I have like them as like the idiot trio. And then like family feels. So initially I started, when I like first really got into annotating, I would just do like quotes and maybe like favorite scenes. And then especially when I started rereading books and annotating them was when I kind of would like look out for more stuff that I wanted to take note of and like remember. And then when it comes to like now when I'm reading through for the first time, I kind of will read like the first 100 pages and I might just tab stuff. I might not really write anything, but I might not make a set like a set key until I'm like, okay, 100%, like this is what I think is going to happen. These are the colors I'm going to stick with. And even then, like when I read Divine Rivals, I had to like redo some of the tabbing colors a few times because it was like, I thought banter was going to be like really, really prevalent. And like it was really prevalent in the first half, and then it kind of died down. And I was like, okay, maybe that's not going to be as prevalent. So I'll use a different color for banter because I have less of it. And then it popped back up in the end, and I was like, never mind. There's like a ton of it, so I actually need a color that I have a lot more of. Yeah. And I'll like switch it around sometimes. But yeah, like especially on books where it's my first read through, I kind of give myself about 100 pages to sort of figure out like what do I want to tab this? What do I want to tab? What are the big things that I really could see myself wanting to remember? And then like I kind of go from there. And I tend to annotate with pencil more just because of that. So if I need to make changes, I can. And then usually for my annotating like key, if it's like a first read through, I'll put it on like a little note card or like a sticky note that I can put in the book so I can easily change it. And then like on the reread or at the very end, if I'm like, okay, that's like a new favorite, I'll like go back to the end and like actually write it in the book itself and like transfer the tabs over.
Okay.
Art. I feel like you've just given me like a whole new idea of kind of how to annotate.
Me too. I can only ever do it on books I'm rereading because I know what I would want my categories to be that way. So
Yeah,
I'm going in first. I'm like, ooh, what do I do?
Exactly. Yeah. I got the idea for like giving yourself the like starting time from Sarah at Sarah's Shelves. And I was like, that's actually really smart because then it like gives you, it like settles you into the world first. So you can like figure out, do I actually want to like take note of all these things or, and then, I mean, there's some books like fantasy books. Like I know some people who automatically will tab like world building no matter what. And for me, it's like, if I love the world, then I will. If I don't care that much, it's like, whatever. It's not really necessary. Or characters, like I know some people will tab for like introductions of new characters and things. I don't really do that unless it's like a character I really love. Then I'll kind of like keep track of them more so. Oh god. Sorry.
Uh-oh.
The coughs. I think it's like that thing like where you're talking to somebody and you it happens at the worst.
It does.
Made it contagious for you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna run through some of these comments. Hi, Randy Lynn.
Hello.
Bye. I'm assuming this was at me scaring you. I'm sorry. I don't know how else to like ease you back in. Hi, Kayla. Washed my face and read 2 chapters. I'm reading a Lincoln Lawyer book. Interesting. Not reading, but setting up Notion. You'll be happy to know I officially put it on my content planner that I will be doing a Notion for.
Yes!
I'm going to do it in February because I was like, I have to figure out just how I even want to like lay out the video in the first place. And then, oh my God. Yeah, my screen recorder has a limit on it. So that's going to be fun to like deal with.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I'm excited though. I'm so excited.
I was like just kind of going through and seeing like what stuff I could like talk about as I was like kind of like mentally planning it out. And I realized I have like 3 things on my YouTube planners that I was like, I forgot I made this. I never use it. Why is this here? I was just like, wow, I like really had this all planned and then I don't even touch it.
Notion's like an online planner that you can use. And you can set it up like so customizable, but it's a little tricky to get that custom level. You can do it like videos and planning and
it's
or like content planning.
It's very much a build your own, but you have to understand their system first, which is like the biggest problem. Like for whenever I first started, I used like a templates of somebody else's, and then I've been doing it like playing with it enough now that it's very much more my own. So I'm gonna try and go through and be like, here's how to do it yourself without using a template to get what I do. We'll see if that works.
I'm excited.
I have yet to finish a book this year. Well, you know, it's only the 17th. I mean, it's not that far into the year. No sweat. Besides, what are you reading? Are you reading anything good? I'm scared to read Iron Flame because I heard mixed reviews, plus waiting for the 3rd book, pain.
Yes.
That's fair, honestly. Waiting for the like next book is the worst part about like getting into new series now.
Especially when they get pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed.
Honestly. I'm struggling because last year I read 6 series and I never had to think about what I was going to read next. Now that I'm done with them, I have to think about what I'm going to read next way too much. That's fair. That's whenever I'm like that, that's where I'll use something external to figure out like my TBR jars or like a prompt generator or something. Maybe that'll help you.
I'm letting my Libby deadlines pick what I'm reading next. When they go back, I'm like, oh, guess I have to read that one now.
That'll do it too.
I was doing so good with my Libby. I had my holds down to like 5 books. And literally yesterday I went through the nonfiction section and now I'm at like the max. I'm at like 20 holds. So like,
oh no.
The pressure is on.
Yikes. So like my previous library didn't have Libby and I just recently signed up for the new library in my like new area and they do. And I'm like, this is so dangerous. I'm so nervous about getting on there and like going through a hold spree because I know that'll happen to me and then I'll get like all of them at once.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad. Because I was like, oh, I'll put all of these new releases that are coming up on there already, because I'll be like 180th in line. And then it gave me the update, oh, your library has acquired 6 new copies. Your library has acquired 13 new copies. And I'm like, oh, wait. That's all going to come at once. Sorry.
13 new copies. Oh my god. I remember for I think it was Fourth Wing, somebody in Jan Agaton's Layer Discord commented that like they requested the audio and they were like 281. And then they got it like 3 days later. And I was like, I'm guessing like people had to be like passing on it or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, holy shit, that's insane.
Yeah.
I had 3 authors that have books coming out this year that they are so spaced out. Oh, well, that's nice at least. And you're not like all on top of each other.
Yeah.
I'm really determined to actually keep track of anticipated releases this year, which on one hand is like, yeah, good for you, Nat. You've been wanting to do this. On the other hand, I'm like, damn it, now my TBR is so filled with all these anticipated releases.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like it was annoying for 2023. Well, I feel like I should have predicted this, but the majority of my anticipated releases for the year were going to come out in the second half of the year. But I guess it makes sense because I read mostly like horror, that sort of stuff. And I feel like a lot of that gets published like in fall around October.
Yeah.
So like my most anticipated reads didn't come out until October or even September. But by that point, I'm like, I only have a couple months left of the year. So it's like I didn't even get to read most of them because I just ran out of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah. Well, hopefully now you can catch up on some of them.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Only on page 57 of Iron Flame. I want to dive in, but I also don't want to ruin the first book. Oh, I guess, sorry. It took me a second to process what that was saying. I guess because a lot of people like were saying that the second one was a letdown. Because yeah, I have heard mixed reviews on that as well. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, I don't know any specifics on it. So
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about the second book besides people reading it really fast.
yeah,
So as long as they don't make the characters do something completely off the walls, then
that's good at least. Hopefully not.
hopefully.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one too. That one will make you cry. Although most of his books will probably make you cry. But that's a good one too.
He really just knows how to like find that spot.
Yeah, pretty much. Just
Yeah.
like press on it and then, twist.
Yeah. It's like just a little more. Just a little more.
Yeah, whenever I went to that author event with him and like he was talking about In the Lives of Puppets, but when I had him sign Wolfsong, he was like, "Oh, so and I was like, "The emotional torture," and he was like, "Mm-hmm," and I was like, "Yeah, I know."
Oh, I want to meet him so bad.
He was really nice. He was really fun. Like the one thing I remember so perfectly from that author event was when he was talking about his inspiration for Rambo and In the Lives of Puppets was he got a Roomba, and it was like doing the thing where it measures out your house so it can map out everything and figure out how to run, and it got itself caught in a corner and it made this little sad noise, and he was like, "Oh no, I'm having feelings." And that like inspired him to write Rambo the Anxious Roomba. I thought that was so funny.
So cute.
Yeah, that was adorable.
I love it.
Okay, see, I said it now, so like y'all have to hold me accountable for this video.
It has to come out February every week. I'll be waiting.
Yeah. Oh, my editing self is gonna hate me, but we're gonna do it. Oh, Bear and the Nightingale. That's good. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I think I might be getting to it early next month.
Mm-hmm. That's one of my favorites. Like if I had to pick an all-time favorite series, I don't read a lot of series, so that's not like saying much, but if I had to pick one all-time favorite series, it would be that one. I really like it.
Okay. I read book 1. I really like that. I want to continue on this year.
Yay. Love to hear that.
It's perfect for the winter season too. Like if you guys like to read seasonally at all, it just totally has like the chilly atmosphere. Like if you're inside, just want to be cozy with a book, it's like such a good pick.
Nice.
Okay. Good to know. I think I'm gonna try and do it for Jan Agaton's, readathon she's doing next month. So one of them was like read a book with snow on the cover, which that's like literally the only book I own that has snow on the cover. And I'm like, how is like, why did I have such a hard time for that one? But I'm like, hey, it works out anyway. I've been wanting to start that series, and yeah. So Libby deadlines is so real.
Yeah.
House of Flame and Shadow. Dude, how long is that book gonna be? Have they announced that? That's what I'm intrigued about.
That's
like,
Christmas, right?
Yeah, I think that's the third one, right? I'm pretty sure it's the third one. That is not gonna be on my list. I'm so intrigued.
Third and final, or like third of multiple?
That's a good question. I don't know.
I have not started that series yet.
It only says 3 on Goodreads, but you know, what does that say?
Who knows?
816 pages. Good Lord. That is a weapon. That's like my new thing with Sarah J. Maas's books, is seeing like how long they're gonna be. Because like, are they giant? Yeah, 9 times out of 10. But like, it's impressive how she keeps upping herself.
After reading Brandon Sanderson, I feel like I'm less scared about that. I'm like, oh, I could do that.
That's fair, honestly. How long was the audiobook for the one?
Way of Kings, I want to say, was like 48 hours.
Oh my goodness.
And then they just go up from there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I remember, ironically, it was when I had jury duty. I was like talking with a guy about reading, and he was like, yeah, I like to read a lot of high fantasy. And I was like, oh, do you like Brandon Sanderson? He goes, yeah, I do. His stuff's really great. And I was like, his things terrify me. And he was so confused. He was like, why? And I was like, because, like, do you see the size of that book? Like, you could literally injure someone with that. It's just giant and heavy.
They are. Oh, but they're so good. Whoa, but they're so good.
Somebody in the book Discord I'm in, 𝗖cie. So first, I love her, but she is a top critic. I don't remember what book it was, but she was buddy reading one of his books today, and she commented she was DNFing at like 85% in. And I was like,
really?
That's so far.
Yeah.
I mean, you pushed through so much. And she was like, I can't do it anymore. I just
that
can't.
last 80% though is when like so much good stuff happens.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think for the most part she tends to like his stuff, so I don't know what happened. I don't even remember which book.
Oh, interesting. You don't know which book it was?
I might be able to find it, but I'll look on our next sprint. I'll do that because I might have to scroll for a while. Ugh. And then I assume this was in regards to the Bear and the Nightingale. But well, okay. You guys want to go for another 30-minute, 45?
Sure. We can keep reading till 41 if you want to.
Sure, why not? I never took off that banner, so why not? Make it a long sprint. Hello. Perfect timing. I had to let Faith back in. So how did we do? I got about 20-ish pages read.
I'm about 7% more into it.
Nice.
I have about 30 minutes left of the audiobook, so if we do another sprint, I'll probably finish up the next one.
Oh, yay. Nice.
How are you feeling, Matt?
Pretty good, actually. My throat's a little scratchy, but I went and got cough drops, so that'll help. And someone keeps hogging my blanket.
Rude.
I know. And she's in a onesie, too. You know, it's not like she's naked.
Aw, cute.
Yeah, she always gets upset with me when I put it on her, but then it's really funny because anytime I let her out, when she like actually spends a lot more time out there when I have her in a onesie, and it's like, see, you appreciate it.
Yeah. That's
So of course Sam tries to like catch his claws on it now. So
oh my gosh.
yeah, it's very funny that like she's an old lady and he's still kind of a kitten. So they're a very interesting duo to watch. Also, my computer's dying. I have to plug that in.
Okay. How big is Sam now?
Oh, perfectly. He was sitting right there. He's getting so
big.
He's getting so big. He's a lanky boy now.
Oh my gosh. He used to be so small.
I know. I can't believe it. It was really funny. Josh was commenting about like his parents have to come over and they're just like not gonna believe how big he is now. Because they really haven't seen him since he was like a kitten.
I hate that they get big, but like at the same time, like you want them big so that they're
Yeah. It's really funny too, because like coloring and everything, he looks just like my brother's cat Logan, except Sam's really lanky, whereas Logan's like he a chunky boy.
Yeah.
Bob says he's not. He a chunky boy.
Chunky. I love it.
No, don't attack my cable. Thank you. But anyway, I was gonna say though, this book super interesting. I'm still really only in the introductory part where she's talking about like a very quick like summary of women's roles in Hollywood throughout like the last 100 years. But it's been super interesting how she talked about like originally a lot of Hollywood was really mostly ran by women, and then how in like the 20s and I think she was like the 20s to the 40s there were actually a lot of unlikable women roles then, and like how it shifted away from that and now it's slowly shifting back. Must you play with the blinds right now? We'll go for a nap in that bottle. I must destroy everything apparently. But yeah, it's been really interesting. So I'm like really excited to actually get into the chapters where she's focusing on like the different unlikable women archetypes. Because it seems like she's got a good writing style, and yeah, like there are some funny quotes too. Like this, she's talking about the 90s, and she made a comment about, as we know, was the decade that lasted well into the new millennium. And she goes, "It is a truth universally acknowledged that the 90s is a decade that lasted 15 years. Don't come at me with math. Just look at the fashion."
Yeah.
Like, not wrong, honestly.
Coming back around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really want to read that book. Over the summer, we went to California, and we went for a week, and I wanted to like go to some of the different bookstores there. So the first one we went to the Grove, and we went to the Barnes and Nobles that's there. And it's huge. It's like 3 stories, and I really wanted to get like a souvenir or something. So of course I'm like picking up all these books, and that was one of them. And I really, really wish I had bought it. I ended up putting it all back because the next day we were going to go to an indie bookstore. I don't know if you guys have heard of the Last Bookstore. You might recognize, like if you see, they have like this really iconic like book wall. It's kind of like, it's made of books. It's kind of like a tunnel and you can walk through it.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. And so I thought, okay, we're gonna go to this indie bookstore tomorrow. Maybe I can find that there, and I'm like supporting an indie bookshop.
Yeah.
And literally, I did not find anything there. Like I was so disappointed, like with what they had. And now every time I see that book cover, I'm like, that is the one that got away. I should have bought that.
Yeah, that's so sad. I've learned that, especially with these kind of books where it's like commentary nonfiction, I really like to have a physical copy myself because I'll end up very lightly annotating it. But it's kind of funny. She's referenced Roxane Gay's work many a times now, and I'm very much looking at it being like, I think this is from Bad Feminist. I'm pretty sure this is from some of her essays from Bad Feminist. So like, I've read these essays.
Interesting.
People in the chat, nobody's telling me how your reading's going. How is y'all's reading?
Yeah.
Tell us. Also, thank you. She's very aware of it. She's hanging out right here. And now Sam can go in my library and sing the Song of His Peoples.
Oh, love that for him.
He's so dramatic. Like, it's so funny. I mean, I've had cats that meow a lot, but like this cat is so dramatic at like the most random times. He cannot stand closed doors, like at all. Now it doesn't like he doesn't even want in there. It's just a matter that the door is closed. That he gets like frustrated, and he's like, "But why?" It's like, "Cause I don't want you in there. Why do you need it open?"
That's exactly how my cat is. And actually, he's in this room with me, and I have the door closed. So he's actually being so good. Normally, he'd be like, he'd want out, and then as soon as I let him out and close the door, he wants back in. So he does not like the closed doors, but maybe that's a cat thing. I don't know.
They have like options.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah, so Josh works nights. So when he's staying with me during the day, like when I get up in the morning and I'm getting like ready and all, I'll try and keep the door closed as much as possible to limit the sound. And this little shit, he can open the door himself, first off. Like even if it's pulled closed, I don't know how he's figured out how to open my door somehow. But he'll literally stand there and meow at it until I come up, and then he'll just look at me like, what do you expect me to do? The door's closed. It's just like, wait, I've seen you open it with my own two eyes, you little.
Yeah.
And then I let him in, and of course, like he'll be a terror to me, and then I'll go in and just like very dramatically like flop down on Josh and be like, "Hi, Dad. I'm so cute." It's like
they just want attention. I think that they want us to like come and open the door for them.
Pretty much, yeah. Especially whenever Josh is here, I always will be like, "Your child is being a pain," and he's like, "Why is he my child right now?"
Because he's a pain.
Exactly. My mom will anytime I complain about that, like him doing something, she'll be like, "Just remember, Josh is responsible for this." And I'm like, "It's our cat child, not even our child." And you're like, "He's responsible for this." Oh man. I'm attempting to read this cozy mystery in under 48 hours. Nice. Oh, well, yeah, thank you for joining us on Sprints. What's the cozy mystery? I'm asking as though I'll read it. I've officially given up on cozies, but I'm so glad for people who like them.
I haven't tried them yet.
I think I've officially hit like 5 now, and none of them have worked for me. I don't get into the vibes enough. I need like more from the characters.
That's one thing I want to try to get into this year is cozy mysteries, because I've read a lot of just like mysteries in 2023, but I want to try like the cozy mystery genre. I'm just kind of overwhelmed by them because I feel like they're all so long. Like I know too, you can kind of read them out of order. Like you don't have to go in order, but I don't know. I'm like, I don't even know where to start.
Yeah, I mean, the Dial A for Aunties one is like kind of a cozy mystery, but like kind of not. But I mean, that one was like pretty entertaining, and I actually liked. See, I can't really like recommend any because all the ones I read, I like didn't really like that much. But I hear good things about. Oh shoot, what's it called? It's like Death by Dumpling or something like that, I think is the name of it.
Okay. I've seen those. I've seen the covers, and they like, that's the thing with cozy mysteries. The covers are so cute, like all of them.
Yeah, Noodle Shop Mystery. I've heard really good things on that series. That's one that I haven't tried, but I keep meaning to. Really? Are you gonna get in presents? Oh my god.
Did you try Finlay Donovan? That's the one I'm interested in.
Have you read that one, Michaela?
I have not read that, but that's one I've seen like a lot of people like that one. Yeah.
Well, I think that's where I'll start if I ever go down that path.
Yeah, that one, I don't know why, because it's not the same at all, but like anytime I hear people talking about that one, it gives me similar vibes to the Stephanie Plum series.
Yes.
The first one's One for the Money, where like I learned about that series like from watching the like movie with Katherine Heigl, and I've never read any of the books, so like I don't know why, and they're not the same at all. But I'm just so curious on that.
I haven't read those either, but when me and my sister were like growing up, she loved those books, and like she started reading them. She was like, I don't know, maybe 12 years old, and I don't think it was like a young adult series or anything, but that's the only reason I know about that one.
I think as it goes on, like the romance gets spicy.
Yeah. The one that I wanted to start, was thinking I was going to start with for Cozy Mysteries, I don't know if you guys have heard of it. It's called *Shady Hollow*, I think. And it's actually about...
Is that the one where they're like animals?
Yes, they're animals.
Yeah, right?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So I started it actually. I started it last year, the audiobook, but I was just reading so many things at the time. I didn't finish it. So I'm going to try to get back into it. It seems like right up my vibe right now, like cozy, lighthearted. So if I'm going to give it a try, and we'll see if Cozy Mysteries are for me.
Yeah, that one I'm a little more intrigued on, I'll admit, because it's like, it seems really adorable with all of them being like woodland creatures, that they're like humanoid.
Oh,
it's like Zootopia Mysteries. Yeah. That just seems adorable.
Yeah, there's like a murder that happens. Like one of the little forest animals dies, and then there's like a police force, but it's all in the forest, and it's all like forest animals, and they're investigating this murder. Just so weird. I like quirky things. Like that's just so different.
Yeah, I gotta give it to the author on that one. That's a pretty original idea for it. So, hey Kirsten, currently reading Last Summer at the Golden Hotel. It's weirdly interesting and terrible at the same time. Okay, is it like a mystery or a contemporary romance? What is it? I'm intrigued. 13% into Just Like Mother. That's a good one. A weird time.
Is that the one with the baby on the cover? The baby doll or whatever? Okay.
Yep.
I want to read that one too. I had the audiobook checked out at one point, but again, it's like a time when I had so many Libby holes, I just couldn't get to it. And I'm like, I still haven't found my way back to it, but I need to read that at some point.
I was thinking, I was like, either you or Maddie loved that one. I think it might have been Maddie then who really liked that one. Yeah, it was like, it was predictable to me, but I still had a like great time. Like I could not stop reading it. I remember I was making like a pot pie when I was listening to the audiobook, and I'm like sitting there chopping vegetables, and I like literally stopped at one point and was like,
oh.
Yeah, that's that freaking doll.
Oh.
No, don't do dolls.
Okay. See, I really don't know too much of like what it's about, but I just see that cover, and that cover like creeps me out. So I'm intrigued just by the cover.
Yeah, it definitely does creep you really well. I will say that. Like I would be so intrigued to try more from that author, because like I said, I thought it was predictable, but like her writing was just so good, and like the really uneasiness and how like character is written and everything. Yeah, I think you'll like it. I think I see liking that one. I saw this message, and so I'm gonna guess it's from My Semi-Charmed Life. Since it's that's my guess. I feel like that's probably fair.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not I've heard on that one that like the series kind of goes downhill, but it's because it's kind of like a silly setup, so it's like hard to keep that going.
Yeah.
That was my thing with the Aunties series too, where like the first one it was like fun and ridiculous, but like the second one it was kind of just a little too much ridiculous. And now apparently they're writing a third, which I'm like, this was not needed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to keep that like momentum going because then you just have to like suspend disbelief so much that.
Yeah, and I think the first one was getting turned into like, I don't know if it was a movie or a series on Netflix. So I'm kind of intrigued on like what they're gonna do with the other like books there, because like you said, it's kind of hard to like keep that suspension of disbelief the entire time.
Yeah. Netflix needs to stay away from books and adaptations. We need to not do that. I cannot be heartbroken like Shadow and Bone again. So
I'm still so like, I mean, I'm not, but like I'm so flabbergasted that they like actually canceled it. I mean, because it had so much hype behind it. I mean,
and they wrote the spin-off for Six of Crows. It was there. It was there.
Yeah, like I mean,
I'm heartbroken.
Yeah, even like not being a big fan of the series, like that would have made them bank for quite a while if they really just like kept riding that wave with the world.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It was so good. My friend at work, like she hasn't read the series at all, but she watched the show and she's like, I'm gonna read it all now. And I'm like, I'm so sorry, it's not gonna be continued. She finished it, I think, last night, and she was like, it's just so good. I'm heartbroken that it's not going on. It's like even non-readers love it.
Yeah, Josh's mom, I don't think she'd read them, but she got really into the series. I remember her talking to me about it, and I was like, yeah, I know what it is. I was like, I'm just gonna hold in all my feelings on the books on the inside.
They're good, Nat. You just need to give them another chance.
Dude, no, I've given Leigh Bardugo like 5 books now. I will say, of any of her books, the ones I've been most like tempted to revisit would be Ninth House. Just because that was like the first book I read by her, and then I went and read her YA stuff, and I'm like, could I like her stuff more? Maybe upon reread, I don't know. I just something with her characters and her writing just doesn't vibe with me.
Have you guys seen the new book that she's coming out with this year, The Familiar? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it gives me very Vampire Chronicles vibes.
Yeah, it just the cover, like it looks really interesting, and I think as it pitches like gothic, like I don't know, I'm intrigued.
I think it's like I really want to say it is vampires, but I might be pulling that on my ass. But I know it's set in like historical Spain, which I think is like such an interesting choice.
Yeah.
I'm trying to avoid new releases right now because I'm trying to not spend any money on books.
Girl, that's fair. I can't believe you on that. I had to rearrange my
life so hard.
So that's fair.
It's been difficult already.
I mean, literally being on the booktube sphere, yeah, that's fair. Like it's really hard to avoid those. It's contemporary. It's interesting because the setting is very Dirty Dancing, but it's bad that it's actually just a soap opera. Does it have the creepy age gap romance that Dirty Dancing does?
I never even noticed that.
You've never thought about that?
No.
I'm so sorry to burst your bubble. I love that movie. I think it's a great movie. But like, let's be real here. That is a 40-year-old man hitting on an 18-year-old.
Oh. I feel like I haven't seen this since high school, so I probably. Oh, yeah, okay.
I'm so sorry.
He's not younger? I thought he was younger.
He might be, honestly. To be fair, that's like, he might be younger. I'm not good at ages, so.
My memory has him super young, but I could be really just misremembering. That is a problem though in so many old movies. You're like, wow, these men are 50 and these women are early 20s.
Yes.
Oh my god. Okay. So in High School Musical, the woman who played what was her name? The black woman who like they kept pushing her with Corbin Blue, like it wasn't really officially. I can't remember her name. But Anyway, so like I watched High School Musical 2 with my niece a few months ago now. And I was like, hey, do you know she's like 35 when these are being filmed? And my niece is like 11, 12, 12. And she's like, 35? Is she dead? And I'm like, how old do you think this movie is, child? And she's like, I don't know. They have flip phones. Flip phones came out in like the 90s, right? And I was just
Oh
like,
my goodness.
I just made my back hurt so badly. And
So
I couldn't with her. And I was like, when do you think this movie came out? And she goes, I don't know, like 95. And I was like,
95.
Aww.
I texted her mom and I was like, Bridget, I'm gonna need you to come pick up your kid because I can't with her right now. Like, it was, yeah.
I have a 12-year-old cousin, and I don't know if I have the date right, but I feel like my mom looked up when she'll graduate high school, and it's like 2034 or something crazy. And just like looking at those numbers, you're like, excuse me.
You're just like,
Not a real date.
that doesn't make sense. No, that's not real.
That is well in the future when we have flying cars. Excuse me, 2034.
Oh my god, that's wild.
It's so weird getting older. We were just watching one of the Harry Potter movies the other day, and I don't know why I had this thought, but it just clicked in my head. Like, a lot of these actors are like passed away now, and the kids, like, had to be one of the first ones because they were all little and they're all grown up. Like, it's just so weird when you watch these old things and it's like everything's different now. I don't know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So many of the older actors in that have recently died too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will never forget finding out about Alan Rickman because I was in English class senior year and my teacher was the one who told me, and my brother loved Alan Rickman, and so I texted him, and apparently that was what he woke up to, and he was like, thanks, Nat, for ruining my day. And I was like, I was just trying to give you the heads up.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm so sorry to my book called Life that I did not call that, but now reading it, that does make sense.
I don't think I watched that one. I was just 1 year old.
I don't think I watched that one, but one of my siblings probably did.
Yeah.
How much longer are we going? One more sprint and us, 2 more?
I'm probably good for one more sprint. That'll put us, I want to do like another 40 minutes.
Sure.
And then, yeah, that's like right just before 10 o'clock for a little bit more chatting before I probably pass out.
For 12 hours.
Hopefully not that long tonight, but we'll see. Depends on if Sam continues to be a terror.
Oh.
He also just, I don't know why, this child always wakes me up at 6 a.m. to like bounce across the room. And he likes to play with the blinds like directly next to my head. And it's just, of all things, you have to do it right there.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Alrighty.
Hello.
Hello.
How'd we do?
Good.
I did end up finishing my audiobook for Unraveling, and I'm rating it 4 stars. I did really enjoy it overall.
Yay!
Good.
Glad to hear it.
That's awesome. I'm really liking this one so far. There's a lot of death though, so it's like don't get attached to anything, anyone.
Oh lordy, that's fun.
So I'm worried. I'm worried about who's going because it's just left and right.
Oh,
They're
geez.
dropping like flies.
Damn. Okay then.
Yeah.
Kind of impressive. I'm always impressed by authors who can do that to their characters.
Right?
Like
I don't think I would ever be able to.
yeah, fair. Honestly, same. I grew too attached.
Right? Like you put so much time into them. How?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Even the bad ones. It's like
I got probably another 20-ish pages, and I officially hit the first female archetype, and so it's the bitch, which is fun.
ooh.
Yeah, and it was actually kind of interesting because, like, I don't remember her name. Let me find it. Linda Fiorentino. There we go. And she is like mostly referencing this one movie she did, which I don't know why I closed the book. I could have. That was dumb. She's in The Last Seduction. Is that what it is? Yeah, The Last Seduction. And I was like, this name sounds really familiar, but I can't place where I know her from. Because she even talked about like that she didn't really become a big household name. She wasn't a huge actress or anything. But apparently, she's the main character in Dogma, which is like one of my favorite movies. And I was like, no wonder I know her name. A very different character in that movie, though. So I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense why I wasn't picturing her as like the bitch. And apparently her husband in that movie is the dad from Casper. Yeah, and I'm like, okay. And so now I'm realizing that, wow, reading this is going to add to my watch list so much. I've seen like 3 movies on there I want to watch, or at least movies, and then like 4 different TV shows that I've been like, okay, I've been wanting to watch that for a long time. I guess this is going to be the push I need to officially like check it out.
Are you vlogging this one?
Like not 100%. I probably will actually. I think I'll end up using it for my Women's Empowerment Day vlog. So, yeah, actually, I should probably like do a update after chapter. I didn't say that. Oh, actually, it looks like I have longer than I thought I did. Never mind. But yeah, I'll probably film an update at the end of this chapter because it's been really interesting so far, just like thinking about or talking about like the role women play in Hollywood.
Yeah.
I love looking at how we influence media influences us. So I really like that she keeps talking about that. And I actually appreciate the fact that she's also talking about intersectionality in like some of these roles and like seeing like queer women playing these roles and like how unlikely that is, but then how that can be turned to like lean into the like angry lesbian archetype or like how hard it is for Black women to get cast in unlikable female roles because it's like writing the line between like actually having a good well-rounded character and leaning into the like angry Black woman stereotype. And, so I appreciate that she's bringing up some of those topics into it as well, and kind of taking that into account when she's talking about her examples and why there hasn't been more diversity in unlikable female characters. Like I thought that was a really interesting thing to bring up. And I am really liking it. I'm not at all surprised that I'm getting like more and more sucked into it as I go. So
it sounds interesting.
Yeah, I think I might end up doing this one and the like women, monsters, and mythology one for my Women's Empowerment Day. I wasn't originally planning that, but then when I picked this one up, I was like, that just works so perfectly. Like unlikable female characters and like female monster characters.
Yeah.
It's so easy to tie them together.
I feel like I might have read the other one you're talking about. Do you know, does it have a green cover?
Yes, and it looks like it's like a woman with like tentacles under her dress.
Yes. Okay, so I think I checked it out because last year that was one of my goals, like my reading goals for 2023, is I wanted to read more like women's studies nonfiction books. And I was going good in the beginning of the year and then I totally off. But that was one of them. I downloaded it and I don't know if I actually finished it, but I had the intention to read it. So I'll be interested to see your thoughts. If you really like it, I'll have to request it again and give it another try.
Yeah, I'm really excited for it because it seems, I mean, seeing as how I love like fairy tales and mythology, folk tales, all that sort of stuff, like it seems very up my alley to like be looking at it with that sort of commentary on it. I think it's going to be really super interesting, especially after reading like the Pandora's Jar, which talked about like the role of women in Greek myths specifically. I definitely think I could like tie some stuff into that with like the topics that author will probably talk about. I'm saying I might be getting a little ahead of myself, but we'll see. Yeah.
All right.
Oh my god.
We did good.
Good.
We got a lot of stuff read.
Good job, team. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me for Sprints.
Thank you for inviting us.
Yeah, thank you. This is good motivation to get me
It
to
was.
read.
Yeah, I need to get back on top of like actually doing these. So this is me starting the year off. Hopefully I'll do like one a month, maybe more. We'll see. Who knows?
Yeah, I like it.
But thank you so much to everybody in the chat. If you're still hanging out, I know it's been a little quieter, but we still have some people watching. So like I said, hopefully I'll be doing another Wednesday night reading sprints next month. Follow my channel for that. Also follow these lovely ladies if you're not. They are linked in the description of this video, so you definitely should.
Feel better, Nat?
Oh, thank you.
It goes away soon.
Me too. This is also the worst timing for video because like the next video I need to film is just me listing out my current own TBR. So it's like it's not hard to edit, but like it's literally so much talking.
Yeah. You just need to do a silent one where you're just like.
Yeah, that would be a good idea, honestly. But all right, well, thank y'all guys, and
Thank you.
Thanks everybody. Bye.